on a global stage, baseball is just America, obviously.
Yeah.
Japan, for whatever reason.
Yeah. Well, how did England do in the World Baseball Classic?
That's what I was trying. That was my point. Like I didn't think England had a team.
First of all, Alan, it's Great Britain.
Britain,
it is
sorry,
not England.
Oh, yeah, Great Britain.
Did you see the
world's
jerseys they wore?
ugliest uniforms.
Yeah. The first time they busted those out, I think it was on a Sunday night. Twitter was just alight with jokes about, did they use MS Word or MS Paint?
Well,
it was literally
fair,
Great Britain.
Have you seen their economy lately? They couldn't afford much. Ooh, is that too much of a dig?
We're going down a different path.
Trust me.
I know you guys know money, so I had to throw a money joke in there somewhere. But let's stick to our baseball classic. We ended with United States and Japan, which I'm surprised the United States even made it in because it is America's pastime. But everyone knows Latin America dominates baseball because they play all year. All the great players come from there, or Japan. Japan just comes out of nowhere. Yeah. But Japan also has a rich history. Everyone's interested in rich history of Japanese baseball.
Sadrao.
Yeah.
Phil Riccobono and Trevor. I can't pronounce his last name on this podcast. Sports podcast playlist is on everywhere podcasts can be found to find more Japanese baseball history. But World Baseball Classic, U.S. and Japan. Mike, did you watch? How many games did you watch? What did you think?
I didn't watch much, and what's funny is because I thought it would be really dull. And my son, on the other hand, Vance was so bold. I was like, World Baseball Classic. I'm like, Vance, it is meaningless. Nobody cares. Because you know what? For the past, 4 or 5, whatever they've had, nobody has cared. Like, we were chatting before the show opener about, how Japan's won it 3 times. I couldn't have told you that. I mean, I remember like Cuba beat the U.S. once. And now they've got like teams from like the Czech Republic and Israel, like baseball powerhouses, like the Czech Republic and Israel in there. So it's
the Netherlands.
It almost feels like the bigger it gets, the more of kind of a setup it is. But obviously, expanding it and everything else, I think aside from the injuries really has paid off. We'll talk more about the injuries.
I think that's the best thing baseball has done. It's the best thing. I know we're going to talk about all the rule changes, but by far, I think this is the best thing that they've done for the game.
I agree now.
Yeah. Getting people involved. Like, when it first came out, you're like, whatever.
I always forget about it. Like, I don't know when it is. Is it every 4, every 6, every 8 years? I couldn't tell you. Every 4 years?
It's supposed to be 4 years, but I think because of COVID, right? Didn't they change things up a little bit or no? I can't remember, but I thought it was every 4.
Let's see. When was the last one?
It's
been 6 years since, so it would have been 2021. Yes, they had it in 2023.
It's a very cool concept, but I think they play it at the wrong time, which is weird to say because I don't know when they would play it.
And when are they going to play it? I mean, this is probably the best time to play it.
It's preseason, right? Everyone's just getting warmed up, getting ready. Thank God Brian Cashman didn't let any Yankees play. He's like, listen, man, I got enough heat as it is. You're not going to play there and getting hurt. I'm not being the Michael Cohen over here. So, and he's right. As a Yankee fan, I think World Baseball Classic is really cool, but I always forget it's happening. I think it was marketed poorly, but the games this year were very exciting. I saw the highlights. The players got really into it. I think it's a great idea. I agree with you, Allan. It's a great thing for baseball, but it's tough because I always forget about it, and then it's just like, here it is. It's come and gone, and players get hurt.
Yeah.
No, that's there is that injury risk. And
but that's with anything, right?
That's the one thing is as good as it was this year. Yeah, you can't be a Mets fan and be happy right now.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I texted all my Mets fans, all my Mets friends, every single one of them. I go, enjoy this, enjoy the postseason, enjoy maybe next year.
It's 162 game season. Don't count them out yet. You never know what's going to happen. That's
true.
The best thing about baseball.
That's why they play the game.
162 games. I mean,
any given weekday or weekend.
Any given weekday, doesn't matter.
Yeah, one game can make a difference. But Edwin Diaz out for the season. He got hurt celebrating it, and not even like the winning at all, just going to the next round. I don't know if he was pitching. I don't know what happened, but he got injured celebrating, which happens. There was that Phillies player I think a few years ago who hit a walk-off.
I was trying to think of who that was. Yeah,
and he broke his leg jumping on home plate, out for the season.
It's going to be a Will Tarashuk story. Like you are in Little League, you're celebrating, then out the next all next season.
Yeah, right. Imagine. No, I actually never got hurt. Thank God. Not going to wood. I saw Reese Hodgkins, whatever from the Phillies his name is. He got hurt in spring training today. So you can get injured anywhere. Aaron Judge could get injured in May and his career could be over. 160 million, 360 million, whatever dollars it was down the drain. But World Baseball Classic is cool. It's a cool concept. Great idea. I mean, who doesn't love countries going off against each other?
Yeah, for sure. I think, because, some of these players are on the same team. Now they're representing their country. It's just like the World Cup with soccer, right? I think it's a great tournament, great idea. It's not every year, which also I think is part of the allure to it. Having it spread apart is smart, and I think it's a really good concept, good idea.
Shohei striking out Mike Trout to finish it.
Yeah,
I was about to say you couldn't script that any better.
So
have, the two stars of that team.
Yeah,
probably will not do anything this year.
Yeah, exactly.
Baseball itself can be a very poetic.
But you know what the ironic thing is? Has the most wins in spring training? The Angels.
The Angels.
their two best players aren't playing with them. So anyway,
past performance is not indicative of future results, just like all those disclaimers say.
Exactly. But no, great. I mean, to your point, Mike, you couldn't script a better ending. I mean, just phenomenal.
It's just a shame he has to go back and play for. They both have to go back and play for the Angels, right? Like they're playing games. You gotta think though, like Mike Trout. I respect the hell out of Mike Trout because he signed that long-term deal with the team he started out with. Something about that in sports, when you stick with the team that drafted you, it's just a lot of love and respect to that because you're just whatever reason they have. But Mike Trout's gonna be like, damn, I could have played for a contending team and this is the baseball I could have been playing. I think he had a quote saying, the only shame is I gotta go back and play 162 meaningless games for the Angels.
Exactly. Now he could have won the World Baseball Championship too.
Yeah. And now Otani's like
fingers.
This what's like to play in like a World Series atmosphere. Yeah. Like, ooh, I might want to leave next year and go to like the Yankees or the Dodgers or the Giants or sorry, not the White Sox or the Tigers because
they don't have any money.
There's gonna leave. It's gonna go to a bad team to a worse team.